Greetings and welcome to the Basketball Rules Expert. Today we are doing California case plays or California study guide questions. We're super excited to be here and glad you could join us. My elite tech team, Gus and Oliver, have created a situation where I'm live streaming into Facebook as well. I think. We'll see how it goes. Gus and Oliver at the helm, controlling all of the levels, doing all of the things, available for birthdays and bar mitzvahs. The elite tech team that keeps us going here at A Better Official. So today, let's get started with our very first question. These are California study guide questions. There's 215. It's a requirement by one of my associations that you do the study guide, and then from the study guide are the actual test questions that you take to pass the test for the season. So this is all done through NASO, I think, or Referee Magazine. CBOA is the testing source, but let's get started with our very first question. Question number one, when may a team called timeout be reduced in length? Choices. A, when the team that called the timeout is ready to play. B, when the non-calling team is ready to play. C, only when both teams are ready to play. Or D, never. A team timeout called timeout shall not be shortened, right? Kind of a simple question, right? If both teams are ready to play, the timeout may be shortened by rule. So our answer here would be C. Now, why would a timeout not be allowed to be shortened? If we're in a higher level game, in a collegiate game, maybe there's television timeouts, there's media that has to be completed before the game can resume. Obviously, if you have a high school game that you know is being televised in some fashion, you may want to be sensitive to that. And if you are fortunate enough to get to a state final, that's definitely a factor. And we cannot shorten those timeouts, those full timeouts, for that reason. But question number one, pretty straightforward. The answer would be C, only when both teams are ready to play, right? One coach wants to do a substitution. I just want a sub. You ask the other coach, Coach, do you want to use the timeout? And they say, yes, we're going to use that full timeout. Or they use the full length of the timeout. All right, so that's question number one. Let's see what's question number two. After Team A had previously been given a warning for delay for breaking the throw-in plane during a Team B throw-in in the first half, A1 reaches through the boundary plane on a Team B throw-in during the second half. What is the result? A player technical foul. B, a team technical foul. C, player substitute technical foul. D, administrative technical foul. All right, there's something revealed in these possible answers that I'll talk about in a second. But after a team has been given a warning for delay, National Federation of High School Basketball Rules, there are 4 warnings when that team has been given one of those. If the same team has an action that would rise to the level of a delay of game warning after one has been issued, it is a team technical foul by rule. Now, this is different at other levels. One thing about these CBOA questions is they're very closely modeled to collegiate rules, right? It's like we're adjacent to a collegiate rule that's different, and they really so they're bringing in the player substitute technical foul here. Different language. So correct answer here is B. This is a team technical foul by rule. All right. Let's take a brief moment here. All right. In the chat, we're going on with it. We're answering the questions. This is great. This is great. You know, I mean, all the information will be there. This purpose of this study guide idea is to just help people work through the questions. I'm going to give my answers, right? They are not necessarily 100% correct. Anytime we're looking at text for a question, there's a reading comprehension issue. Sometimes we're just going to miss a key word or think the question is something different. So that's a factor. All righty. But we're going to move on to our next question. Question number 3. When a player touches the ball or any part of the basket, including the net, while the ball is on or within either basket, it is what type of violation? A, a technical foul. B, basket interference. C, goaltending. Or D, this is not a violation or a foul, right? So there's a couple key things here. Player touches the ball or any part of the basket, including the net. That doesn't actually have to be added because we know that by rule, we find in Rule 4 that the basket is the ring, the flange, and the net. It's all considered to be part of the basket. But we get a little clarification here, and this is basket interference by rule. If we are touching the ball or any part of the basket while the ball is on or in the basket. So on the basket would be contacting the ring, sitting on the ring, touching the ring, and within would be a ball that has entered the basket but has yet to pass through. So our correct here would be B. This is a basket interference violation by rule by either team. Question number 4. All of the following are true with regard to the location of a ball in flight, except which? A pass from A1 who is in team. Oh boy, there's a lot of text here, right? So we'll start with this question, right? If we're thinking about this question, this is the way that this question is worded can be confusing to a great number of officials, right? Not because they don't know the rule, but because the language is odd and a bit tweaked, All of the following are true with regard to the location of a ball in flight, except which? Okay, which of these is not a true statement, right? That's sort of the question. So let's look at them one by one. A pass from A1 who is in Team A's backcourt that has been passed over the division line and is over the front court is in Team A's backcourt. Is that a true statement? Well, the status of the ball will always be where it was last in contact with a player or the court. And if it's a player, it's where that player was last in contact with the court. So this ball, which has been passed from the backcourt, is in flight over the front court, still has backcourt status. Yes, that is a true statement. B, a pass from A1 who is in Team A's front court that has passed over the division line and is over the backcourt is in Team A's front court. That would be true by the same logic. Pass from A1, who's in the front court, that is passed over the division line, is over the backcourt, is in the front court, yes. C, a pass from A1 who is inbounds, that has crossed the boundary line, is inbounds, that is true. Or D, a throw-in pass from A1 that has crossed the boundary line is inbounds. So here's our exception, right? A throw-in pass does not have inbound status until it contacts a player on the court or the court itself. So the correct answer here is D. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for one question. All right, I'm already exhausted. Coffee time. Oh. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Question number 5. Which of these pivot foot movements result in a traveling violation? A, the pivot foot is established, lifted, and the player shoots the ball. B, the pivot foot is established, lifted, and the player passes the ball. C, I see where this is going. The pivot foot is established, lifted, and the player begins a dribble. Or D, the player catches the ball with both feet on the floor and then uses either foot as the pivot foot. Right? in the world of everybody knows, many people feel that lifting of the pivot foot is a violation in and of itself, but of course that's not true. Lifting a pivot foot and returning it to the floor is a violation, a traveling violation, or lifting a pivot foot and then releasing a dribble would be a violation. So our correct answer here would be C. The pivot foot is established, lifted, and the player begins a dribble. That would be a traveling violation. That is the correct answer. Whew, got it. Okay. Question number 6. A1, with both feet in the air, catches a passed ball, lands on one foot, jumps, and finally lands on both feet simultaneously. Which of the following is A1 allowed to do? A. Lift either foot off the floor while maintaining possession of the ball and not returning that foot to the floor. B. Lift either foot off the floor and begin a dribble. C. This is a traveling violation, or none of the above. Okay, so I have not reviewed these questions in advance, and I am immediately going to have to think this one through. Now we have the situation where a player jumps off one, lands on two. Is that a legal action? They catch the ball in the air, jump off one foot, land on 2 feet. Is that in and of itself a legal action? Yes, that is allowed by rule. So C is not going to be our correct answer. Can they lift in that instance a pivot foot off the floor and begin a dribble? In that instance, they're not allowed to lift either foot off the floor. That's my inclination. Maintaining possession of the ball and not returning that foot to the floor. I don't think A or B are legal by rule. Neither foot can be the pivot, and lifting either foot would establish one of the feet as a pivot. So I'm going to go with D. But I'm going to quickly check the YouTube comments to see if everybody agrees. Oh, I'm not sure which question we're answering. It's either A or D, but I'm going to go with D, and I could be wrong. And I'm going to live with that, right? So, yeah. Pay no attention to this little thing down in the corner here. On this question, our brain is fogged over. It's bright and early here on the West Coast. Let's go to question number 7. 7. After A1 releases the try on a free throw, but before the ball touches the ring or flange, B2, who was in a marked lane space, enters the lane, then crosses the free throw line and enters the semicircle. B2 does not make contact with A1. What is the result? A, no penalty, play on. B, violation on B2. C, technical foul on B2. Or D, personal foul on B2. This became a point of emphasis a few years ago. A player in that marked lane space, an opponent of the thrower, is not allowed to cross the free throw line prior to the ball contacting the ring. This is a violation, in this instance, a delayed violation on the opponent of the thrower, B2. This is not a personal foul. Any contact on the thrower will be evaluated on the merits of its contact. We could certainly have a player displace a free throw shooter, and that foul will be ruled. But in this instance, there is no contact, so our correct answer here is violation on B2. I would say the correct answer is delayed lane violation on B2. And if the free throw misses, a replacement free throw would be awarded. All right, question number 8. Let's go. Let's keep things moving. During A1's first of 2 free throws, A2 and B3 are both in marked free throw lane spaces and commit simultaneous free throw violations. A1's try is successful. What is the result? This is a great question. It's one that's going to, during a free throw? Or are we ready to adjudicate this play? A, both violations are penalized and the free throw is canceled. B, A2's violation is ignored. C, alternating possession throw-in. D, A1's free throw shall count. Wow, that's a full range of actions. Okay, this is during A1's first of 2 free throws. Okay, so no matter what the result, A2 or A1 will get a second free throw in this instance. 2 players commit simultaneous violations. What is the penalty for simultaneous violations by opponents in marked lane spaces? The free throw has ended. Anytime the teammate of the thrower is involved in a free throw violation, at that moment of the violation, the free throw has ended. The goal cannot be scored. So both violations in this instance are penalized and the free throw is canceled. We're not ignoring the teammate's violation. An AP throw-in would not result because they have a second merited free throw due to them, and the free throw shall count is incorrect. So our correct answer here is A. We have a full playlist. Wait a minute. I got skills. I have a full playlist, and I will put it here on free throw rules and restrictions as we can, tune up, sharpen the saw for the upcoming season. See how I did that? You know who taught me how to do that? My tech team. Gus and Oliver, masters of the technology for YouTube streaming, making it happen here at A Better Official. All right, now how do I get back to where I was? All right, question number 9. A1 is disqualified for receiving a 5th personal foul. Later in the game, A1 re-enters the game as a substitute. The officials recognize it at the first dead ball after A1 re-entered the game. What is the penalty? Ooh, this is a good one. Not something you're going to see every day. A, there is no penalty. B, a direct technical foul charge to Team A's head coach. C, a direct technical foul charge to A1. Or D, indirect technical foul charge to Team A's head coach. What is the correct ruling? This player has fouled out. Coach, that player has 5. I would certainly, for them to have fouled out, we have to have coach, that player has 5, because that is the moment that the player is disqualified by rule. Obviously, if we failed to do that, then that player has not been disqualified by rule. This is a direct technical foul on the head coach, A1's head coach. We also notice that we have a direct technical foul charge to A1 at other levels. Again, these CBOA questions really sort of really challenging to the collegiate official, who this rule may be different at the collegiate level. But this is direct on the head coach. It's not an indirect. There is a penalty, etc. So our correct answer here is B. Direct technical foul charged to the Team A's head coach. Yeah, I'm confident with that. Unlike that jump off 1, land on 2. I'm not confident with that. All right, question number 10. Then we'll go to the chat. 10. After the game's opening jump ball has been tipped, but before it is controlled by any player, A1 fouls B2. When shall the alternating possession arrow be set to point towards Team A's basket? A, immediately after A1's foul is reported. B, prior to the ball being put at the disposal for Team B for the throw-in. C, after the ball is placed at the disposal of Team B for the throw-in. Or D, after Team B's throw-in ends. Commentary. This is extreme minutia, right? The exact moment where the possession arrow is set. Yeah. As long as it's set correctly here, understanding the exact moment, though, we need to know the rules. After the ball is placed at the disposal of Team B for the throw-in is when the arrow is set. In this instance, the correct answer would be C. Okay. All right. If I've screwed anything up, let me know in the chat. And let me just take a moment here to shout out. We got the Michigan contingent jumping in early. Bomber and Darwin Sonata show supporter. Good to see you, Darwin. Let me stretch this out a little bit. How about that? Mike Connors says always go for D, or for all of the above, or none of the above. Chris Janish from the great state of South Dakota. Great to see you, Chris. Thomas Hennian jumping in from Virginia. Awesome. Great to see everybody. Good to be back on the air, as it were, supported by my tremendous tech team. Stan Bickler jumping in from Pittsburgh. Nate Luther from Pennsylvania, Indiana, Pennsylvania. Jason Hayes from the great state of Missouri. Show me. Los Santon, good to see you. Sadiq Pettijohn. I will put a link above. Sadiq will be joining us for the live stream on Friday. Basketball rules expert. How many plays? 5. Let's go. Good to see you, Sadiq. Oh, boy. What section speaks to when an official can call a timeout for an untied shoelace? I worked for the partner over the weekend who, if there was any inkling that a shoelace was untied, stopped the game, made the player tie his shoes. There is none other than our power to ensure that we have a safe situation. So you're not going to find any reference to shoelaces in the rules book. If we feel that something is grossly unsafe and we need to address it, we can always stop play, and obviously choosing the correct time to do that. If we can wait until a dead ball, that would be the most opportune time to do that. Papa Les jumping in from Chicagoland. Bob Marshall back amongst the ranks. Good to see Bob at our association meeting recently. We'll get him back out on the court, rocking his beautiful hair. Brandon Mason is in the house. Always love the dancing ref. Awesome. Mark Ensign from we're here. We're a little chill in the air here in the Bay Area, but no snow. Woo, hang in. All right, I am going to jump back into it. We want to keep things moving here. Let's take a look at question number 11. We're going to go 1 through 72 today. Team A's jerseys have the school name horizontally placed in the allowable area on the front of the jersey, and the school's nickname horizontally placed in the allowable area on the back of the jersey. Is this allowed? Oh my goodness. Too much text for a uniform question. Come on now. A, only the team name is allowed on the front of the jersey. A single administrative technical foul shall result due to an illegal uniform. We can know this is incorrect by rule because if we had an illegal uniform in the National Federation of High School Basketball Rule Book, it would state this is a direct technical foul on the head coach. That is the penalty for an illegal uniform. Regardless of the number of occurrences, everybody's wearing the same uniform. If we deem them to be illegal, it is one single direct technical foul on the head coach. So A is incorrect. And with all of these questions, note the rules reference, if there is one, is in gray. So if you need to, stop, look up the rules reference, etc. And also for people outside California, California uses rules by topic in addition to the rules book. So there's a reference to RBT here. That's rules by topic. I think it's used in a number of places, but that's what the reference is. So our rule reference here is 3-4-4, but it's also covered in rules by topic. So B, only the team name is allowed on the back of the jersey. A single administrative technical foul shall result due to illegal uniforms. C, only a school logo is allowed on the front and back of a team's jersey. A single administrative technical foul shall result. Well, so the first three have all included the penalty as being an administrative technical. So we know by logic, that those are all incorrect, and our correct answer has to be D. Both a school name and team name can be placed on the front and or the back of the jersey. This is legal and no penalty results. Single administrative, administrative, administrative. I guess that's got to be it. Hey, Reg, good to see you. Oh, I'm not doing that now. I'm going to wait till after the... All right, so this is a great example of just a test-taking technique. Am I completely sure about the way this is worded? No, but I know that the first three are wrong, right? So I can go with D with confidence and move forward to question number 12. B5 is called for goaltending on A1's try for goal, which is true of Team B's subsequent throw-in. A, it shall be a designated spot throw-in at the division line. B, it shall be a designated spot throw-in along the end line. Or C, it shall be a non-designated spot throw-in along the end line. Okay, well, when there's a defensive goaltending or basket interference call, the goal is scored. After a goal is scored, the opponent has the ability to move along the end line because of a non-designated spot throw-in. And that's what we have here. Our correct answer would be C. That's very straightforward. You could also say, well, no, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that. We're moving on to question 13. How long does the head coach have to replace a disqualified player? A, 10 seconds, B, 15 seconds, C, 20 seconds, or D, 30 seconds. Correct answer here, changed relatively recently, is 15 seconds. Our correct answer here would be B. And of course, we want our timer to give us a horn at the start of that interval, and then should 15 seconds elapse, a second horn. And we're going to work our way through the management of the situation, but by rule, the answer is B, 15 seconds to replace a disqualified player. Which of these scenarios result in a violation? Okay, a lot of words. Here we go. A1 jumps to try for a goal, but realizing it will be blocked, drops the ball to the floor and starts a dribble. Is that a violation? Can a player lift their pivot foot and begin a dribble? I don't think so. So I'm feeling good that that's our answer. Let's take a look at the others, though. A1 dribbles a second time after losing control of the first dribble because an opponent touches the ball. A dribble ends when an opponent touches the ball, causing the loss of control by a dribbler. A1 jumps for a try for goal, but the ball is knocked out of his or her hands. They retrieve the ball in the air, land, and start a new dribble, right? They had terminated their dribble, but the ball was knocked loose. So any previous restriction upon dribbling is ended because that has all ended, and they can begin a dribble anew. That's going to be one that everybody in the gym brings a lot of energy. D, A1 loses the ball in an attempt to end his or her dribble. It takes 3 steps to where the ball is and is able to retrieve the ball, right? They're dribbling. They try to end their dribble, right? But they can't control it. It bounces away. They go and retrieve it. Legal. Oh, wait. And then they pass it, right? Once they put 2 hands on the ball, even though they did not control in that action, their dribble has ended by rule. So they cannot dribble again, but they can go retrieve the ball, which they have fumbled, and then pass, shoot, request a timeout. So our correct answer here is A. A lot of words. A lot of words. I don't appreciate a lot of words. Question 15. Let's go. Players may wear mouth guards. And here we have a proper question. Not a lot of words. True or false? Players may wear mouth guards. Recently, point of emphasis added to the rules book. Yes, players may wear mouth guards. That is a true statement by rule. And again, we see our rules reference in gray, if you need to look it up, 3-5-8. Now that's what we like to see. How many words we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically. That's a good question. We like it. All right, moving on. Question 16. What is the result when a player makes incidental contact with the net while the ball is on the basket, and that contact with the net has no effect on whether the ball successfully enters the basket or not? Correct possible answers, 16 rather. A, no penalty, play shall resume uninterrupted. B, basket interference. C, goaltending. Or D, a technical foul. I think we just had a question where we had defined that contacting the basket while the ball is on or in the basket is basket interference. So what is the result when the player makes incidental contact with the net while the ball is on the basket? Well, this is an excellently worded question? By saying incidental contact, right? I don't think that's the correct use of words here, right? Incidental contact is defined as in the rules book, and it doesn't refer to contacting a basketball. So a little confusing here with the language. I guess they're saying it doesn't cause the ring to move and has no impact on the shot. But the rules book says this is a violation because we've contacted the basket, which includes the ring, the flange, and the net, while the ball is on, sitting on top of, or in the basket. So this is a basket interference violation by rule. I'm calling a technical foul on our question writer for using incidental contact here. We understand the meaning, but no, not having it. All right, question 17. Which of these technical fouls cause a direct technical foul to be charged to the team's head coach? Oy, oy, oy. I'm not a fan of that way that's languaged. No, it's okay. That's my bad. That's reading comprehension on me. My bad. A, the head coach failing to replace a disqualified player within 15 seconds. B, the assistant coach disrespectfully addressing an official. C, bench personnel being assessed a technical foul. Or D, none. Which of these? Okay. Okay. I'm still not a fan of this language. All right. But we know that a head coach failing to replace a disqualified player within 15 seconds is a direct technical foul on the head coach. So that's going to be our answer here. We also know that a head coach by rule is responsible for the behavior of bench personnel. If bench personnel receives a technical foul by rule, we can just review that here real quick, then there is an indirect technical foul assigned to the head coach. This is just an assignation, though. It's not an actual technical foul on the coach. It's just carries some weight when it comes to possible disqualification for cumulative effects. So our correct answer here, though, is A. The head coach failing to replace a disqualified player within 15 seconds is a direct technical foul on the head coach. And we're moving on to question 18. What is the result if Team A's throw-in lodges between the basket and the backboard? You don't see that every day. A, no violation. The alternating possession arrow determines which team gets the ensuing throw-in. B, Team A has committed a throw-in violation and the ensuing throw-in is awarded to Team B. C, Team A has committed a throw-in violation, and the ensuing throw-in is awarded based on the alternating possession arrow, or D, none of the above. Wow, okay. Is this a violation? I have a complete playlist on throw-ins and throw-in violations, and I'll put another link above, and you can check that out. All right, so is this a throw-in violation by rule? If the ball lodges, it is a throw-in violation. If the ball passes through the basket, it is a throw-in violation. If the throw-in pass contacts the ring and bounces away, that is a legal play. The ball contacts the backboard, either backboard, legal play. The ball contacts the bottom of the backboard, the side of the backboard, the top of the backboard, legal play. The ball contacts the back of the backboard, a violation, right? So this is a throw-in violation, and the ensuing throw-in is awarded to Team B. What is the spot of the throw-in for a throw-in violation? Back at the original spot. Okay, player may have thrown from the sideline. The ball lodges in the basket. Our natural reaction is, oh, the violation occurs here. But no. Once we designate it as a throw-in violation, we go back to the original spot for the administration of the resulting free throw. And we're moving on to number 19, pace. How far is the three-point line from the basket in the middle portion of the court? That's a rules question. A, 19 feet 9 inches. B, 20 feet 9 inches. C, 22 feet 1 3/4 inches. D, 23 feet 9 inches. That's some minutia, right? It's the top of the arc in high school. It is 19 feet 9 inches. Rule 1, right? As a basketball official, Rule 1, most of what Rule 1 is directed to are other people in the game. People who design courts, meeting restrictions, solid division line, shadows, and all these things. I always say rule number 1 is our least important rule for basketball officials in terms of officiating a game. But our correct answer here is A. And let's finish this section with number 20. Which of the following causes the principle of verticality to not be in effect for a defender? We would think that the principle of verticality always applies to a defender. Let's see what our choices are. A, legal guarding position was never legally obtained. Oh, I see. Okay. The defensive player moves laterally after having gained a legal guarding position and is run into by the dribbler rather. C, the defender jumps vertically after obtaining legal guarding position, or D, none of the above. Okay, I got to sort this out. Which of the following causes the principle of verticality to not be in effect? Well, it would not be in effect if legal guarding position was never legally obtained, right? I guess. The defense player moves laterally after having gained legal guarding position and is run into. That's not a thing. Vertically after, none of the above. So A is our answer. Principle of verticality and a legal guarding position, it's a question. The answer is A. We're moving on. Let's move to the chat. Hey, let me know if I've screwed anything up and have misspoken and gotten anything wrong. Obvious. Greg, what are you doing? Vic Baker wants to know, when does the 15 seconds begin? How is the coach notified at the start of the 15 seconds? This is a really important skill to have. Managing disqualified players, right? We may have a coach that is not happy about the fact that you made that call. They think it's a bad call. It was on their key player. It's an emotional game, etc. Now, the reason it was shortened to 15 is we don't want coaches acting out in this situation, but we want to be really skilled and adept at how we manage the situation. We've discussed with our timer before the game how we're going to handle this. Don't give me a horn until I indicate to you. We don't want them to go early. We want it to be under our control, right? So we can say, there's different ways to approach it. Coach, player has 5. Give me a horn, right? Make that part of the information for the coach, and he knows, okay, I'm on the clock. We don't want the timer to go early before we've notified, right? If they did it simultaneously, I suppose. But we want to manage that situation. So to answer your question, Victor, it begins when we tell the timer that the interval shall have begun. And we want them to have a device that's, an iPhone or what have you, a mobile phone, that can count the 15 seconds accurately. If we get to the horn, by rule at that point, the coach is assessed a technical foul. Again, I would encourage you to learn to manage those situations well so you get the proper result. The game is not delayed, which is the purpose of all of this, and we move forward. All right. Let's go back to the beginning here, see what I missed. Okay, we're looking good. Let's see. How are we doing on Facebook? Okay. All right, 20 questions down, 52 to go for today's session. Let's look at our next one. 21. After A1 ends his or her dribble, which of these people or objects may A1 bounce the ball off of, then go recover the ball and legally begin another dribble? Can that happen? Possible answers. Ooh, it's short. A, Team B's backboard. B, A2. C, an official. Or D, none of the above. This is a good question, right? Because it forces us to have an understanding of what the impact is of contacting each of these things. By rule, A1 has completed their dribble. By rule, the opponent's backboard has the same status as the floor. By rule, the official and their location is the same as the status of the floor in that location. So if the player throws the ball off of their opponent's backboard, it's as if they have bounced the ball off the floor. If they throw it and it bounces off an official, it is as if it has bounced off the floor. In both of those instances, that would not be legal. But when the ball touches another player, not opponent, not teammate, player, so that includes all the other 9 players at that point, then the player, their previous dribbling restrictions have ended. So our correct answer here would be A2. They throw it off their teammate and they can dribble again. That, some people say, is that fair? But that's the rule. So we'll go with that. Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to show this little disclaimer thing. What do I got? My tech team. Oh. No, that's not it. Let's see. Hold on. Oh. Supposed to show this thing. It talks about the fact that these test questions are related to the CBOA study guide, and it refers, we haven't had any so far, but we will be referring to California rules exceptions. We do have a shot clock here in California and some few other exceptions as well. But we're moving on to our very next question. Question number 22. What is the result of the home team does not have a proper red light or red LED light mounted on the backboard? Whoa, that's got to be a penalty, right? No, there's no penalty in high school. These are not required items. It's fantastic when we have them, but it is not a penalty. This is sort of a college-adjacent rule where there would be a penalty if a school failed to have all of the things, a recessed shot clock, the lights, lines on the court, etc., can all be incur an administrative technical of some sort. But in high school, there is no penalty for the absence of lights on the backboard. So our correct answer here is A. Question 23. Technical fouls include all but which of the following? A non-contact foul by a player when the ball is live. B, a foul by a non-player. C, a contact foul while the ball is live. D, a contact foul when the ball is dead, except a foul committed by an airborne shooter. Okay, so non-contact foul is a technical foul. A foul by a non-player, player on the bench reaches his leg out and trips their opponent. That is a technical foul. A contact foul when the ball is dead. When the ball is dead, that would be a technical foul, except a foul committed by an airborne shooter. So our correct answer here is C, a contact foul when the ball is live. Pardon me. Contact fouls cannot, when the ball is live, cannot be technical fouls. Sometimes we have a reaction. A player is pushed from behind or hit in some fashion, and our first reaction is, oh, that's bad, that's a technical foul. But we can never have a technical foul for a live ball contact. Having that fundamental grain of understanding about the rules for National Federation of High School Basketball rules is really helpful, right? And you can help save your crew from making a mistake, because many officials instinctively think, oh, that is a technical foul. You can't do that, right? Because of some behavior by a player. So our correct answer here is C, a contact foul when the ball is live cannot be a technical foul. And let's move to question 24. Just after the opening tip, it is discovered that 3 Team A starters were wearing different jersey numbers on their jerseys than the numbers indicated in the scorebook. What is the penalty? Well, this is going to be severe. A, no technical fouls are charged. B, Team A is charged with 3 direct technical fouls. C, all 3 Team A starters are given a technical foul. D, Team A is charged 1 administrative technical foul, and the numbers in the book shall be corrected. Okay, we have a situation where the numbers for players who are participating in the game are incorrect. The scorebook needs to be changed. Fine, we will change the scorebook so that it is accurate. By rule, this is an administrative technical foul, and there is 1 technical foul regardless of the number of participants. Okay, so there's 3 players here with the wrong number. That's great. We assess an administrative technical foul. We award 2 free throws, the ball at the division line opposite the table, and we move on. Later in the game, another player comes in. Hey, ref, he's not in the book, right? We have to change another player's number, right? But the way the rule works is 1 administrative technical foul in this instance, regardless of the number of players, regardless of the number of occurrences. It happened in the first period. It happened again in the third period, again in the fourth period. The single administrative technical foul covers all. Important to know that. And we're moving on. 25. The numbers on Team A's jersey are not centered horizontally on the front of the jersey, but instead are located on the left side of the front of the jersey. What penalty shall be assessed during the game for Team A's jerseys? I have had this happen. A, no penalty as the jerseys are legal. B, 1 technical charge to Team A. C, 1 technical for every Team A member that enters the game. D, no penalty is assessed during the game. The game officials should notify their conference coordinator about the illegalities, and it is up to the conference office to deal with the school and its uniforms. Okay, illegal uniforms, right? We can learn the rules by rule. Many signers will say, hey, let's just give me a heads up and we'll fix it, right? But let's go by rule here. By rule, this is an illegal number. The numbers, illegal uniforms, the numbers must be centered and they must be of a certain size. Sometimes on older jerseys, they're a little off center. Hopefully not on new ones, but that can happen. It happened to me, and it's funny because oftentimes when we are recognizing illegal uniforms, because I'm looking right at the player and I can't quite determine what the number is. Why is that? Oh, it's because the number's improperly shaded, or it's small, it's too small, or if it's off center, etc. All of these things. So in this instance, this is one technical foul charged to Team A. Is that the right language? This is a direct technical foul. One direct technical foul on the head coach. If we say these are illegal uniforms, one direct technical foul on the head coach. By saying one technical foul charged to Team A, what's the implication there? That it's a team technical, but it's a direct technical foul on the head coach. They have lost their privilege to stand and coach their team, and it counts as a technical foul towards disqualification for the coach. So, not a fan of the language on that question. But let's move on to question number 26. During pregame warmups, the officials notice A30, we love number 30 here in the Bay Area, whose team is wearing white uniforms, is wearing a black headband that is 3 inches wide and features one manufacturer's logo. The headband has no knots or extensions. Well, that sounds really fat. A30's headband is illegal because his or her team's predominant jersey color is different than the headband color. B, A30's headband is illegal because it violates width restrictions. C, A30's headband is legal so long as any other headbands being worn by his or her teammates are also black. And D, A30's headband is illegal because headbands are not allowed to have any logos. All right, so we're talking about player equipment here, understanding the rules and restrictions, managing it during a game, managing it related to the previous crew that said, oh, there's this restriction, that restriction, helping coaches understand, etc. Always a challenge that we face at the high school level. This headband is legal by rule. The rules have been recently changed to allow the 3-inch headband. Obviously, teams may have the colors of their headbands can be black, white, beige, or the predominant color of the jersey. This team is wearing white, so their headbands can be black, white, or beige. It's part of the package. We have a video. I'll put a link above. Part of the package. All team members, all items included in the package must be the same color. They must be black, white, beige, or the predominant color of the jersey. All right, so in this instance, this is a legal headband. Our correct answer would be C, and we are moving on. Question number 27. If an official erroneously cancels a goal in the first period, when is the last available time for that the error can be corrected? A, before the second quarter begins. B, before the second half begins. C, before the referee approves the final score. Or D, before the second live ball after the error occurs. A referee erroneously canceling a goal is a correctable error by rule, and therefore it has a very specific time frame in which the error can be corrected. And the correct answer here would be D, before the second live ball after the error occurs. Now, let's say the official correctly signals or correctly scored a 3-point goal, didn't score a 3-point goal, etc., and the scorer made a mistake, right? In that instance, any time until the end of the game, that can be corrected. But in this instance, this is a correctable error scenario, and so it has a very specific time frame for correction, and our correct answer is D. Question number 28. Which of the following is true during pregame warm-ups when only Team A is on the floor? Team A may warm up at either end of the floor. B, Team A may warm up on both ends of the floor. C, Team A may only warm up on Team B's end of the floor prior to Team B entering the court. Or D, Team A may only warm up on its end of the floor. I don't know the rules reference for this one. I don't see one listed. The correct answer here is that team is only allowed to warm up at their basket. We would assume that the officials are on the floor during this time. It's not stated, but it's implied. If we have entered the court, we have jurisdiction. Each team is allowed to warm up at their basket exclusively. So I'm going to go with D. And we'll finish. All right. Wait a minute. Okay. All right. Question number 29. A1 is fouled and awarded 2 or 3 free throws. A11 and B20 are waiting to enter the game but are not allowed in because of the multiple free throw substitution rule. Before the first free throw, it is discovered that A2 is bleeding and must be replaced. A11 replaces bleeding A2. Can B20 also enter the game when A11 does? That's a lot of words, which means we're not going to have a lot of words for the answers. So we have a situation where players are not allowed to enter by rule until before the final free throw, but it is discovered that a player is bleeding and must be replaced by rule. Coach, I have a bleeding player, I need a replacement. Or they could, of course, call a timeout, rectify the bleeding situation, and that player could stay in the game. But in this instance, they are directed to leave the game. The coach replaces with a substitute, and in that instance, prior to when they are normally allowed, we must have a substitution, then all substitutes are allowed to enter. So there's no restriction as in A. There is no restriction as in B. No, they will not both wait. D, B20 is allowed to enter since B20 had legally reported to the table and another player had been directed to leave the game by the officials. D is the correct answer. There are many words on this question. I'm exhausted. Coffee time. All right, question 30 to round out this set of 10 questions. A1 is attempting the first of a 1-on-1 free throw. If simultaneous violations occur during their unsuccessful try, what is the result? This sounds familiar but different to a previous question. A1 gets a replacement free throw. B, A1 shall shoot the second of the 1-on-1 free throw attempt. C, Team B shall be awarded a throw-in. Or D, an alternating possession throw-in results. Okay, free throwers attempting. Simultaneous violations by players in marked lane spaces. Or simultaneous violations, it's not specified there. When there are simultaneous violations, the free throw has ended by rule. So the first of a bonus free throw scenario has ended by rule. What happens next? There is no second free throw. The ball is dead. Who gets the ball? In this instance, we are going to go to the possession arrow for the resulting throw-in. D, an alternating possession throw-in results. In this situation, it could be like, for a moment, we got to do a little processing, right? Do we get the second free throw or not, etc.? Refer to that playlist for free throw restrictions. No, I haven't given that yet. I have a complete playlist on free throw rules and restrictions, and I will put a link. Where will it be? It'll be right there. All right. Awesome. Okay, let's take a look. Have I screwed anything up? Let me know in the chat. I can make a mistake and just keep moving forward, right? And the caveat here is I guarantee you I will not get a 100% on this question. There's going to be some this study guide. Like I say, some of it will be reading comprehension. Some of it will be a moment of temporary insanity, but I will not get them all right. So take that with a grain of salt. Ted, referring to the length of the arc, it is from the directly below the basket, isn't it? Yes, I think so. All right. I like Mike Connor's dumb question. It could refer to several. Oh, Adam C says I'm batting 1,000. Oh, excellent. We'll see. We'll see if that holds up. But let's keep moving because we want to get through these and we want me to stay fresh. Like I say, last year I did this, especially at the end of the second day when there was like 115 questions. I was a little exhausted. All right. Question 31. Any of the following patches may be worn between the base of the front neckline and shoulder seams of the jersey, except which? Right? So we're talking about a part of the jersey that has been designated where things can go, right? There's a restriction where things can't go, but this is an area where things can go. We got the neckline here and up to the shoulder. A, an American flag. B, state flag. C, commemorative patch. D, memorial patch. I do not know the answer to that question off the top of my head, so I'm going to use some logic here. I know that the American flag is going to be allowed by rule. Memorial patch would be allowed by rule. Commemorative patch would be allowed by rule. I'm thinking. Of course, everything has to be meet the dimension restrictions. I'm going to go with B, state flag. What's my confidence level? Extremely low. You will go back, and if I got it wrong, you can let me know in the chat. I'm not going to peek. I'm going with B, and I'm just using test-taking strategy here. I do not know that that is the correct answer, but I'm using my intuition. I'm using common sense. 32, and of course, when do we use common sense? When we don't know the rule. 32. What is the result if B1 reaches through the end line boundary and makes contact with a Team A player attempting to inbound on a throw-in? A, delay of game violation on Team B. B, technical foul on Team B. C, intentional foul on B1. D, legal play. All right. So B1 violates the boundary plane and contacts the thrower, right? Contact with a Team A player attempting to inbound on a throw-in. Okay, that's language, right? To violate the plane and contact the thrower. Contacting the thrower on a throw-in is an intentional foul by rule in National Federation of High School Basketball rules. So the correct answer here would be C. This is an intentional foul on B1. Something that's kind of missing, though, is in addition to an intentional foul, that is also a delay of game warning would be issued simultaneously. So the correct answer is actually potentially A and C. If a delay of game violation had previously been issued to that team and the same situation occurs, we only assess for the intentional foul. But our answer here is C, wording. Wording could be improved. Moving on. 33. A player strikes the backboard with his or her hand. What is the result? Well, that's got to be something. A, goaltending. B, a legal play if attempting to block a shot, or a technical foul if the player intentionally and excessively strikes the backboard. C, basket interference. D, both B and C. Okay. Common myth, right? And may be different at different levels. I believe NCAA men's has a rule that is different here. But in high school, contact the backboard, no matter what its impact, can never be goaltending and can never be basket interference. We're talking about contacting the backboard, right? We have not contacted the ball on its downward flight, so it can't be goaltending. We have not contacted the ball above the cylinder, so it can't be basket interference, nor have we touched the ball if it's on or the basket or ball while it's on or in the cylinder. It can't be basket interference. It cannot be goaltending. So it cannot be D, and the correct answer must be B. But let's look at the language. A legal play if attempting to block a shot, that is correct. Or a technical foul if the player intentionally or excessively strikes the backboard. I don't know. I don't recognize that language, excessively strikes. If we are attempting to block a shot and we excessively strike the backboard, that's a legal play. The key component is attempting to block a shot. This is a judgment called by the officials. But our only answer here can be B, so we're going to go with B. And I'll look into that excessively strikes language. But we're moving on to question number 34. In the second half of the game, A6 desires to enter the game but is wearing an illegal undershirt. Which of the following is true? A, A6 may wear the illegal undershirt since the game has already started. That's common sense. B, A6 may wear the illegal undershirt after a Team A is assessed a technical foul. C, A6 may not enter the game while wearing an illegal shirt, or in this instance, undershirt. A6 may wear the illegal undershirt if Team B's head coach permits it. Okay, that's very gracious. But of course, we're talking about the rules here. Players may not participate if they are illegally equipped. Simple concept. What defines illegal equipment, right? When it comes to the undershirt, which is not part of the package. Previously, we mentioned the package of all headband, wristband, arm sleeve, elbow leg pad, legging, all the things. Undershirt is considered to be an extension of the uniform, must be the same color as the predominant portion of the uniform, and that's really straightforward. A player may not participate when they are illegally equipped. They may not enter the game by rule. The coach cannot buy them in with a technical foul. They may not participate while illegally equipped. A really simple concept, one that if we own, makes things really easy to adjudicate the rules properly. And of course, it's a nuisance part of our rule of administering a game is managing illegal undershirts, illegal equipment, etc. There's much confusion surrounding, again, previous crews. They allowed it. We wear a dark green uniform and we have black undershirts, and the last crew said yes, and but that's just the way it is. 35, let's move on. When is it permissible for a player who has blood on his or her uniform to remain in the game while blood exists on that uniform? Correct possible answers, rather, are A, when an official determines the blood has not saturated the uniform. B, when medical personnel determine the blood has not saturated the uniform. C, never, if the uniform has any amount of blood on it, it shall not be worn. Or D, none of the above. Again, a really simple concept for National Federation of High School Basketball rules. If there is any blood on the jersey or the player, it is not allowed. That's it. Really restrictive, but really simple and straightforward by National Federation, right? No amount of blood. Again, this can be different with different levels. There's different blood rules when it comes to collegiate rules, etc. But we're doing high school rules, so none. The correct answer is C. Let's move on to 36. B5 is in a marked free throw lane space during A1's free throw attempt. It is a violation if B5 does which of the following prior to A1's release of the ball? Okay, so B5 is the opponent of the thrower. What behavior can they exhibit prior to the release of the ball? A breaks the free throw lane line plane with his or her foot. That would be a violation, but does not touch the floor. It's a violation to break the plane with your feet. B, breaks the free throw lane line plane with his or her hand and touches the hand to the floor. Well, that's a violation. Can't do that. C, breaks the free throw lane line plane with his or her foot and touches the foot to the floor. That is a violation as well. So our correct answer here is D, all of the above. Moving on. We like easy questions. I didn't do that. I think my tech team screwed that up. Hold on. During the first half of the game, B2 is called for a goaltending violation during A1's try for goal. The official scorer fails to record the 2 points that shall be awarded to the team for that goaltending violation. Which of the following is true of the scorer's mistake? We sort of foreshadowed that with a previous answer. It can be rectified at any time until the referee approves the final score. That is a true statement. B, it must be corrected during the first dead ball after the clock properly starts. C, it must be corrected before the first half ends. D, it must be corrected before the second half begins. Again, previously we had a correctable error scenario. This is not one of the correctable error scenarios. A mistake in the bookkeeping, a mistake by the scorer failing to mark a score, erroneously marking a score, can be corrected at any point until the referee approves the final score. Our correct answer here is A. All right, 38. Moving on. Pace. 2 minutes into the second half, Team B, losing 36-18, has its leading scorer ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct. Team B's coach takes his or her team off the floor and refuses to continue the game. That was weird. A, there is no penalty for Team B's coach. B, a forfeit is called with the score 2-0. C, a forfeit is called with the score 36-18 in favor of Team A. D, the game shall continue, allowing Team B a chance to change its mind. Okay, if the coach refuses for his team to continue the game is over by rule. Okay, so what's the score? Team B is losing. They get the ejection. The score as it exists stands. If we had a situation where Team A ahead in the game, something happens, the coach is extremely upset, we cannot continue, then it would be a forfeit and Team B would win 2-0. You could also potentially have that situation if the head coach was ejected and there was no certified replacement for them. That would be a forfeit as well. But in this instance, our losing coach refuses for his team to continue. This is a forfeit, and 36-18, the correct answer is C. All right, moving on. 39, which of these acts causes a designated spot? Which of these acts cause a designated spot throw-in? What will result in a designated spot throw-in? A, after a basket by A1 kicks Team B's attempted throw-in pass. B, A1 scores a basket and Team A immediately requests a timeout. C, basket interference by A3 while A2's try is on the ring. Or D, goaltending by A2 on B3's shot. So let's go through each of these scenarios. It would be helpful. After a scored goal on the resulting throw-in, a kicking violation, does not restrict the team from being able to move along the end line. Sort of a unique little quirk in the rules, right? Normally, a kicked ball violation would result in a designated spot throw-in, but if it's during when a team has a non-designated spot throw-in, they maintain that. A1 scores a basket and Team A immediately requests a timeout. That does not affect the Team B's ability to run the end line. And in D, goaltending by A2 on B3 shot results in a scored goal. After a scored goal, the opponent may have a non-designated spot throw-in. So let's look at C, basket interference by a teammate of the thrower that released the try is a violation, and that would result in a designated spot throw-in for the opponent. Our correct answer there is C. A lot of words, but I think that was valuable. That's a good little refresher. And maybe it's a presage of an upcoming question. Number 40, during the dead ball immediately following A1's successful try with 34.5 seconds remaining in the game, the official notices water on the floor and blows the whistle to stop play. Which of the following are true? A, only substitutes who had reported prior to the official's whistle may enter the game. B, only Team B substitutes are allowed to enter the game. C, all substitutes are allowed to enter the game. Or D, no substitutes are allowed to enter in the game. This is one of those collegiate adjacent rules, restrictions, sort of challenging officials who do both. In high school, whenever the ball is dead, substitutes are always allowed. Or whenever the ball is dead, except when there's free throw restrictions. So in this instance, whether or not it was an inadvertent whistle, 59.9 and below is not a factor here for high school. All substitutes are allowed to enter the game. Our correct answer is C. I'm sticking to it. All right. All right, how am I doing? Have I screwed anything up? All right, Jake Taylor, first-year official. Phenomenal. Love it. Let us know how we can help, Jake. I'm glad if you find any value from the channel, I appreciate that. I'm super excited. Jacob's in the house. Oh, is he going to talk about his Clippers this year? I don't know. But I agree with your sentiment. Uniform. All right. First-year official. Jake Taylor. Make rules, understanding the illegal uniform rules your lowest priority. That's my advice. Because here's the thing. You can be a stickler and know, okay, the shading on the letters is a violation. Your assigner doesn't want it. Coordinators don't want it. Nobody loves when we enforce illegal uniforms restrictions, but we need to know the rules. Just make it your lowest priority. All right, we're going to move on. And you can quote me. "41. Team A is awarded an alternating possession throw-in after a held ball. A1 holds the ball through the end line plane during a throw-in. B1 is able to get his or her hands on the ball, and A1 cannot pull it back. What are we going to do in this situation? A, this is a held ball. Team A retains the arrow following the held ball since the throw-in never legally ended. That sounds crazy. B, tactical foul for making contact with the ball. C, a plane violation warning. D, held ball. Team B now has the arrow and is awarded the resulting throw-in. Okay, this is a super quirky situation. Anytime the ball is held through the boundary plane and the opponent grabs the ball, it's like a totally non-intuitive situation. The rules maker said, okay, in this unique situation, this is how we're going to handle it. And then you throw in the fact that it's an AP throw-in as well. Like, if this ever happens in your game, it's like 1 in a million. But anyway, but we need to know the rules, and we need to understand what the rules and restrictions are. If the thrower extends the ball through the boundary plane, the opponent of the thrower may contact the ball legally legally contact the ball. They cannot contact the thrower, but they can contact the ball. They can grab the ball and they can hold it so tightly that rough play may ensue, in which case we'd have a held ball. But in this instance, we would the possession arrow has not changed. The throw-in has not ended. The arrow would be retained by the throw-in team, and the resulting throw-in would again be an AP throw-in by Team A. So our correct answer here is A. And of course, in this instance where the player contacts the ball, they have not violated the plane. The thrower has extended the ball through the plane. So let's keep that in mind as well. And we'll move to question 42. On a screening play, when both players are moving in the same path and direction, who is responsible for the contact? A, the player behind, B, the player in front, C, the first player to stop, or D, the player moving the slowest. I believe the correct answer here is A. It's not my favorite wording on this rule, but I believe the correct answer is A. And since it's my show, I'm going to move on. Question 43. During a timeout, the game clock is allowed to display which of the following? A, the time remaining in the current quarter. B, the time remaining in the timeout. C, the time remaining in a promotional activity being conducted during the timeout. Or D, any of the above. High school, there is no restriction that the clock must stay with the time during the game. NCAA women's are not allowed. We must see that the time remaining in the game during timeouts. Again, this is very common with these study guide questions, sort of well, the college rule is this, the high school rule is this, you make the choice. For people who are just doing high school, it's like that doesn't make any sense. But so anything is allowed by rule, or there's no restriction against in high school. Question 44. The top assistant coach is assessed an unsporting, well, if they're the top assistant, an unsporting technical foul in the first half. In the second half, the head coach is ejected and the top assistant coach replaces the head coach. How many more subsequent technical fouls are required before that newly activated head coach would be ejected? A single direct technical foul. B, a single indirect technical foul, 2 direct technical fouls, or 3 indirect. If I understand this question correctly, this person who's designated as the top assistant has already received a technical foul. If they received a second technical foul, they would be ejected by rule. I'm going with B. No, not B. A single direct technical foul. And I'm moving on. 45. After which of these unsuccessful free throw attempts shall the ball remain live? Which of these unsuccessful free throw attempts shall the ball remain live? The first free throw after a common foul with 11 defensive team fouls. Holy cow, what kind of wording is this? The first free throw after a common foul with 8 defensive team fouls. C, the second free throw attempt after a flagrant foul. Or D, the second free throw attempt after an intentional foul. Okay. With intentional and flagrant, there are no players in marked lane spaces. The ball will not be live as the result of those free throws. When we refer to A, the first free throw after a common foul, 10 or above, the penalty in a National Federation of High School is 2 free throws. If we were shooting, if the ball would not remain live after the first in that instance. So the correct answer would be B, the first free throw after a common foul with 8 defensive team fouls. We are in a 1-on-1 bonus situation. So that would be the correct answer. Yeah. 46. Moving on. Team A has team control of the ball in its backcourt for 9 seconds when A1 is granted a timeout. How many seconds does Team A have to advance the ball into its front court following the timeout? Ooh. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 1 second, or 0 seconds. Okay, so the officials' count had gotten to, you see, the gray area here is shot clock rules, and different states are doing different things. But this is my understanding of the rule. This is the way we've been doing it in California. But my understanding is also that there may be a change the way we're doing it in California. So I do not know, but I haven't gotten confirmation of that fact. Somebody told me that California is moving to doing the backcourt count off of the clock, but I don't have any clarification otherwise. So let's imagine there's no shot clocks involved. In National Federation of High School Basketball rules, the count would begin anew. They have 10 seconds. Our correct answer is A. At other levels, that's not the case, right? We're still going off the shot clock, and they have only the remaining time to do that. But in high school, I apologize for getting murky, but our correct answer here is A, 10 seconds. 47. Which of these results in a violation by Team A during A1's designated spot throw-in? All right. Team A during a designated spot throw-in. We should know this. We know free throw or throw-in rules and restrictions. A2, who is in Team A's front court, deflects the ball from the front court to the back court, then goes to the back court to gain control. Is that a violation? That's got to be something. B, A2 leaps from Team A's front court, catches the ball, lands with both feet in Team A's back court. C, A2 leaps from Team A's front court, catches the ball, lands with 1 foot in the front court, and then the second foot lands in the back court. Or D, no violation, as all are legal plays. So, our rules question says violation during a designated spot throw-in, but of course none of these would be a throw-in violation. The question is there a backcourt violation on these plays? Strangely worded question, but it's a question. Is it trying to throw us off? Is it legal to a player in the front court during a throw-in to deflect the ball that goes in the backcourt and then they go into the backcourt? And that is a legal play by rule. That is not a backcourt violation. That occurs during a throw-in because we have not established team control on the court. If A2 leaps from their front court with front court status, catches the ball, and lands in the backcourt during a throw-in, is that legal? Yes, because there's a rules exception that says when a player is, during a jump ball, when a player is playing defense, or during a throw-in, they are allowed to jump from the front court, catch the ball in the air, and land in the backcourt. I have a complete playlist on backcourt rules and restrictions, and I'll put a link right there. Booyah! All right. And C, A2 leaps from Team A's front court, catches the ball, lands with what the rule when a player jumps in the air and catches the ball, they are allowed to land in the backcourt and land with backcourt status. And it matters, as long as they make a normal landing, it matters not which foot lands first. They jump from the front court, catch the ball in the air, 1 foot lands in the front court, 1 foot lands in the backcourt, legal. 1 foot lands in the backcourt, then 1 foot lands in the front court, legal. So our correct answer here, in the end, is D. There's no violation. These are all legal plays. All right, 48. After A1's try is released and is in flight, the official inadvertently blows the whistle. The ball hits the ring, but the try is unsuccessful. What is the result? So we have an inadvertent whistle while a try is in flight. What is the result? The throw-in is awarded to Team A regardless of the direction of the possession arrow. B, the throw-in is awarded to Team B regardless of the direction of the possession arrow. C, throw-in to the team entitled to the alternating possession throw-in. The throw-in is set at the spot nearest to where the throw-in was where the try was unsuccessful. Okay, When a try is released, there is no longer team control. It's defined by rule. Team control ends when a try is released. Okay, so there's no team control. We have an inadvertent whistle. The try is unsuccessful. How are we going to resume the game? In this instance, we will use the alternating possession method. We will go to the arrow. The correct answer is C, throw into the team entitled to the alternating possession throw-in. Problem here is that D is a true statement. The throw-in will be at the spot nearest to where the try is unsuccessful. But I'm going with C as our correct answer. All right, 49, let's take a look. A player who has been withdrawn may re-enter during the next opportunity to substitute. A player who has been withdrawn. That is very odd language. After the clock is properly started following, let's say the player has been replaced, has been substituted for. Withdrawn. I do not know that language. Maybe that's me. After the clock is properly started following his or her replacement. B, when the opponents have committed a violation before the game clock has been properly started. The correct answer is A. After a player who has been replaced, who has been substituted for, may not return to the game until the clock has properly started. By rule, a simple understanding. That's what we're going with, and let's take a look at question number 50. 2 minutes into an overtime period, the scorer notifies the officials that a scoring error has been made in the second half. Team A was not correctly awarded a point and should have won the game in regulation with no overtime period being necessary. What shall the officials do? What they should do is don't screw it up. This is obviously a key moment. We need to make the correct ruling. We are in overtime, and our scorer says, hey, ref, we've discovered, after consulting between the books, that we missed a point that occurred in the second half, and we never should have gone to overtime. Right? What are we going to do? Okay. We have possible selections here. Let's just talk about what we're going to do. Once overtime has begun, overtime shall be played. Again, a concept that we can take with us. What do I know? I know that once overtime begins, we will play overtime. We also know that the score can be corrected any time until our jurisdiction ends. So in this instance, we're going to correct the score and continue the game. It matters not that it would have prevented overtime. Once overtime has begun, we're gonna go, and we're not going to replay. We're not going to restart. So B, resume play in overtime with the time on the game clock unchanged and the point added is our correct answer. Okay, obviously a critical point in the game. This could really, how often is this going to happen to you? Very, very infrequently. But we obviously need to know how to adjudicate. All right, we're 50 questions in, 22 to go. Oh boy, I got to keep this under 2 hours. Dakota Ted is correct. Overtime had already started. Papa Les, excellent. Let me see. I want to ban that. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to keep moving. See if I can keep it under 2 hours. I'm going to have to pick up the pace. 51. If a player with the ball swings his or her elbows and makes non-incidental contact with an elbow to an opponent's head, what kind of foul may result? A, common foul. B, intentional foul. C, flagrant foul. Or D, all of the above. The play will be judged on its merits. Non-incidental contact would mean that this is illegal contact by rule, which means it rises to the level of a foul. We could have a situation when any of these three scenarios plays out. There is no mandate to elevate due to the fact that there was contact, head contact with an elbow. That being said, it's very easy to see how excessive contact could be ruled with an elbow to an opponent's head, and certainly flagrant if there was any intent behind the action as well. But our correct answer here is D, all of the above. It could rise to any level, common, intentional, flagrant, or all of the above. We're going to make a judgment about that. All right, 52. On a throw-in touched in the backcourt, which begins when an inbounds player legally touches the ball. Oh, yeah. On a throw-in touched in the backcourt, which begins when an inbounds player legally touches the ball. This may be a California question. The game clock only. B, the 10-second backcourt count only. C, the game clock and the 10-second backcourt count. Or D, the game clock, the shot clock, and the 10-second backcourt count. Let's talk high school rules. The clock starts when the ball is legally touched inbounds. So for NFHS rules, the correct answer would be A. In California, we do have a shot clock, and the shot clock also starts when the ball is legally touched inbounds. But we do not start a 10-second count until the ball is controlled by a player on the court. I don't know how to answer this for California because the game clock should start and the shot clock should start, but not the backcourt count. That's one of those questions that I think I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. Why? Because I can. Oh no, I would have screwed it up. '53. The fourth quarter ends with Team A ahead 63-60. Before the officials leave the playing floor, A1 gets in the face of one of the officials and curses. The officials assess a technical foul on A1. A, because the 2 free throws, let's just talk about the scenario, right? So we are assessing, even after the game has ended, before we have left the visual confines, we have jurisdiction. We are assessing a player technical. This could be considered a flagrant technical, depending on the gravity. In this instance, we will report, but we will not attempt free throws at the high school level because the free throws would not have an impact on the game. Team has a 3-point lead. If they made both free throws, it would not impact the game. We will not attempt the free throws. Okay? So our correct answer is A. Because the 2 free throws awarded for the technical will not affect the outcome, they are not administered, and Team A wins. So in this instance, we could go report to the book, or we could do it administratively after the fact, especially if it was a flagrant. We could report to our assigner we assessed a flagrant technical foul as we left the court. This player should receive the penalties for the next game, etc. All right, 54. Pace, which is our true of successive timeouts. Successive timeouts, defined by rule. A, they must be requested by the same team to be considered successive. That is not a true statement. They occur when granted to either team prior to the clock starting. They shall not be granted after the expiration of playing time for the second half or expiration of any extra period. C, there is no such thing as a successive timeout. D, both B and C. Our correct answer here is the one that has all the words, right? B, they occur when granted to either team prior to the clock starting. They shall not be granted after the expiration of playing time for the second half or expiration of any extra period. A very unique situation. But our correct answer is B. We're sticking with that and we're moving on. A1 is fouled by B2 during an unsuccessful try for goal. Prior to A1's free throws, A1 is assessed a technical foul, which is A1's fifth foul. Who shall shoot the free throws for B2's personal foul against A1? Right? Player is fouled. They are due merited free throws, but they are assessed a technical foul, let's say taunting, and that is their fifth. They are disqualified. Coach, they need 5. That's 5 on them. Who will attempt their free throws? Does a coach get to choose? None of that. The substitute for the player attempts the free throws. So A1 substitute is our correct answer. Correct answer is B. 56. Which of the following results in an alternating possession throw-in? Good question. Which of these results in an AP throw-in? A technical foul on Team A while the ball is dead. That does not result in an AP throw-in. B, a double personal foul when a team is in control of the ball. No, that would go to the team that was in control of the ball. D, a double personal foul when no team has control of the ball. That's our correct answer, right? When are we going to go to the arrow? When the ball is dead and we have no indication of who should be awarded the ball, right? So a try is released. It bounces off the rim. 2 players trying to gain position, right? Their arms are interlocked. The officials rule a double foul on those 2 players. There is no team control by rule. We will resume with an alternating possession throw-in in that instance. So our correct answer here is C. And we're moving on. 57. A1 is awarded 2 free throws. Substitutes are ready at the table to enter, and Team B is granted a timeout prior to the first free throw. When shall they enter the game? They're already in the game. Both can enter before the first free throw attempt given. There was B2. At that point, they are actually in the game. So we'll go with A. Both can enter before the first free throw attempt given that there was a timeout. But in fact, they are actually in the game at that point. That's our story. We're sticking to it. 58. Which of the following combinations results in A1 being ejected? So this is a player being ejected. I object to the eject. Players are never ejected. Players are never ejected at the high school level. If 2 technical fouls are charged to A1 for misconduct or sporting behavior, they are disqualified by rule. They are sent to the bench. Coach is informed that they are disqualified. That is that. 1 intentional. A player can get 5 intentional fouls in a game. They would be disqualified because they had 5 fouls, not because there's any accrual of intentional fouls. So our correct answer here is A. And we're moving on. 59. Which of the following are true of the length of each extra period? Okay, a little caveat on this one, but in high school, the extra period is 4 minutes in duration, right? 8-minute periods, 4 minutes in duration. Not every state plays 8-minute periods. Some play halves, etc. In California, it would be 4 because we play 4 8-minute periods. But at lower levels, you may have a situation where they play 7-minute periods, and in that instance, it would be 1/2 of a period. But our correct answer here, the length, is C, 4 minutes. That's the default answer. 60 rather. Following a jump ball between A1 and B1, the ball is temporarily possessed by A2 before being tied up by B2. Which of the following is true? So this is a jump ball scenario. The ball is tapped. 2 non-jumpers one player grabs the ball, and then there's a resulting tie-up, held ball situation. Which of the following is true? Any two players may participate in the jump ball. A2 and B2 must participate in the jump ball. The ball is awarded to Team A for an AP throw-in. The ball is awarded to Team B. Remember, the key part of the question is temporarily possessed. Okay, so the jump ball has ended. We have team control by Team A, and then we have a tie-up. So team control by Team A sets the arrow to B, Team B, and the resulting held ball would result in a Team B throw-in. So our correct answer is D. Had to parse some words out on that one. 61. A1 and B2 commit fouls against each other during a live ball. A1's foul is an intentional foul. B2's foul is a flagrant foul. How many free throws are awarded and to whom? Wow, that's a tough scenario. Will you see this in your game? Unlikely. We have commit fouls against each other during a live ball. We would assume that these fouls occur at the same time. The subsequent language does not indicate there was one and then the other. So this is fouls committed at the same time. This is a double foul by rule. Double foul. No free throws awarded. Resume at the point of interruption. Double foul. No free throws awarded. Resume at the point of interruption. So A, no free throws are awarded. That's a true statement. They're not both awarded free throws. There's no free throws. There's no free throws. If this is a double foul. Now, well, wait a minute. One's intentional, one's flagrant, right? Not a factor. If it's a double foul, that is the situation. By rule, our correct answer is A. Hey, Marcella Dobbs is in the house. Excellent. Great to see you, Marcella. And Ray Allen, we got the Bay Area contingent here. Les, I'll come back to you about that shot clock stuff on that question I had no answer for. But we're moving on. 62. No timeout is charged in which of the following? A bleeding player is able to resolve a blood situation during a 20-second timeout period. B, when a timeout is specifically requested to rectify a correctable error and that error is rectified. C, when a timeout is specifically requested to rectify a timing error and that error is not rectified. Or D, when a timeout is specifically requested to rectify a correctable error and that error is not rectified. Okay, A, bleeding player. 20-second time period refers to collegiate rules, not a factor in high school. In high school, bleeding player, coach, I need a replacement. Oh, you want a timeout? Okay, you can resolve it during the timeout, whether it's 60-second or 30-second timeout, right? All good. The player's good to go. But there's no 20-second time period for people to try to resolve it, not a factor. So now we have correctable error situation. The coach goes to the table. Hey, stop the game. Hey, that you failed to award the 3-point goal, or I think we should have shot bonus free throws or whatever. The coach at that point, when they stop the game to do that, is requesting a timeout. And if they are successful in a correction of a correctable error scenario, that timeout is rescinded. And it is not their timeout, but in the absence of that, it is. So our correct answer would be B, when a timeout is specifically requested to rectify a correctable error and that error is rectified. No timeout would be charged in that instance. That's our correct answer. Correctable answer? No. 63, how many free throws are awarded for an intentional foul? Well, anybody who watches Basketball Rules Expert knows that we reiterate this often. On an intentional foul, the penalty for an intentional foul is 2 free throws to the offended player and the ball to the team at the spot nearest the foul, except when that player attempts a three-point try for goal, an intentional foul is ruled, they receive 3. But always, 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 always 2 free throws, except that one instance, attempted three-point try that is missed. Okay? If we can own that, it's going to help, because sometimes there's an intentional foul and the ball goes in, and 1, baby. And no, always 2, unless it was a missed three-point try. All right, so which one is our answer? 2 free throws if committed on a successful 2-point try, and 3 free throws if committed on an unsuccessful 3-point try. That is a true statement. Our correct answer is D. All right, 64. A1 passes the ball from behind the 3-point line. It is deflected upwards by B2, who is also behind Team A's 3-point line, and the ball enters the basket from above and passes through the net. Had the deflection of the ball upward not occurred, the ball would have no chance of entering the basket. How many points are scored for Team A? This is an obscure situation. So we've got, it sounds like we have a player beyond the 3-point arc who's passing the ball. It says here, passing the ball, it's deflected by an opponent of the passer upwards, and it passes through the goal, passes through the basket. What are we going to do in this situation? Well, any live ball that passes through the goal is going to count as a goal. So is this a 2-point or a 3-point goal? This is a 3-point goal by rule. Confident. Any thrown ball from beyond the 3-point line that goes through the basket is considered a 3-point goal by rule. The fact that it was also deflected by an opponent does not affect that. So, but you say this was a pass, it wasn't a try for goal. Any ball that is thrown from behind the 3-point arc would be considered a 3-point goal in this instance by rule. I'm sticking to that. I'm not going to check the chat. Very non-intuitive. It was not a try for goal. But ref, it wasn't a try for goal. But by rule, any thrown ball from behind the 3-point line, even if it's contacted by a player, I'm not sure. I should be sure, but I'm not. 65. The throw-in that follows the free throws for a single flagrant personal foul shall be. So we have a flagrant foul. We have 2 free throws awarded, potentially 3. The throw-in that follows shall be given to the offended team at the division line, given to the offended team at the spot nearest the foul, offended team point of interruption, given an AP throw-in, right? The penalty for an intentional or a flagrant is the same. The penalty in terms of what happens in the game. Obviously, if we have a flagrant foul, that player is disqualified by rule. But the penalty for intentional and in flagrant is the same. It is 2 free throws to the offended player or their eligible substitute. We have a flagrant foul, maybe an elbow to the face. That player cannot continue. They are bleeding. They have, injured. It would be their substitute. So 2 free throws, offended player or their eligible substitute, and the ball at the spot nearest the foul, except when it's a 3-point try that misses. Could be a flagrant foul in that instance, right? Player, kicks a player's legs out or shoves them violently, swings at them, and on a missed 3-pointer. Could be the case as well. So our correct answer here is B, given to the offended team at the spot nearest the foul. All right, we're in the home stretch. 7 questions to go. 66. All of the following are situations when the ball is at the disposal of the thrower in or free thrower, except A, handed to the thrower or free thrower, B, Okay, the ball is at the thrower for a free throw or a throw-in all of these situations, except handed to the thrower, the ball is at their disposal. C, caught by the thrower or free thrower after being bounced to him, at their disposal. D, placed on a spot at the floor, right? The team has not come out. We place the ball on the floor. It is considered by rule to be at their disposal. But B, in this instance, released by the administering official when bouncing the ball to the thrower or free thrower, right? It's not yet at their disposal while it's being bounced, while it's in flight. If they catch the ball, as in C, it is at their disposal. If they fail to catch the ball, come on, ref, I wasn't ready. That's never happened to me, except that time, that one, where the player's leaning forward, you bounce the ball, hits him in the head. Come on, ref. So our correct answer is B. Released by the is not at the disposal. B. Released by the administering official when bouncing the ball to the thrower or free thrower. All right, 67. A1 steps out of bounds along the end line to avoid a defender and then steps back inbounds and immediately receives a pass from A2. Which of the following is the result? A, no penalty, continue play uninterrupted. B, A1 shall be assessed a technical foul. C, A1 has committed an out-of-bounds violation. D, A1 has committed a violation for unsporting conduct. What is that? Violation for unsporting conduct. Well, we know it's not D. Okay, so the key question here is what caused the player to step out of bounds? If they stepped out of bounds because their momentum, then it would be a legal play. But it sounds, the implication here is A1 steps out of bounds to avoid a defender. So they are making an intentional decision to go out of bounds. That is a violation by rule. So our correct answer is C. A1 has committed an out-of-bounds violation. Out of bounds. Is it? I know it's a violation. Is it an out-of-bounds violation? 68. Which of the following is or true while A1 is holding the ball out of bounds for a throw-in? Okay, so we've given the ball to the thrower. It's at their disposal. Which of the following is true? A, A1 is in player control. B, Team A has 5 seconds for a throw-in to touch an inbounds player. C, the ball is live. Team A is in team control. A1 has 5 seconds to release the ball. Or D, none of the above. Ay, ay, ay. I'm going to go with C. There's a caveat, of course. C, the ball, well, no, there's no caveat. There's no caveat. C, the ball is live. Team A is in team control by rule, but only for the administration of fouls. A1 has 5 seconds to release the ball. Those are all true statements. C is our correct answer. We're not picking nits, and we're moving on. 69. Which of the following is true of fighting? Fighting now. It can only occur when the ball is live. B, it can only occur when the ball is dead. C, it results in a flagrant foul. And D, only players can be penalized for fighting. Well, it definitely results in a flagrant foul. The penalty for fighting is the assessment of a flagrant foul. Could be assessed on just one player who throws a punch, or it could be assessed on multiple players. It can also be assessed on team members who leave the bench and participate, or just simply team members who leave the bench. Those are technical fouls, etc. But fighting can occur while the ball is live. Fighting can occur while the ball is dead. So those are not correct, but it does result in a flagrant foul. Our correct answer is C. And 70. All of the following result in goaltending violation except which? Which of these is not a goaltending violation? B2 touches the ball in upward flight. We know it has to be downward for goaltending. B2 touches the ball in downward flight outside the cylinder and above the ring during a free throw attempt. Is that a thing? B2 touches the ball in downward flight outside the cylinder and above the ring level during A1's field goal try. Which one of these is not goaltending? Oh, we got it already. A, B2 touches the ball in the upward flight. Ball has to be on downward flight for goaltending. Ball has to be on downward flight and have a chance to go in. Those are the two criteria it has to meet. So when we refer to above ring level, below, if it's below ring level, obviously it has no chance to go in. So downward flight, chance to go in, the prerequisites for a goaltending violation. So our correct answer here, the one which is not, is A, a ball on its upward flight. All right. Our penultimate question, in which of these scenarios will an overtime period always occur if A1 is assessed a technical foul after the expiration of time to end regulation? Okay, so we have a tie game. Oh, we have the game is over and a player is assessed a technical foul. I've given it away. Players have been assessed a technical foul. And the correct answer here is A, when the score is tied. When the score is tied and then a player is assessed a technical foul, the game will be, overtime will be played. The overtime will begin with the penalty for the technical foul. But if we have team A ahead by 1 point and A1 is assessed a technical foul, that the free throws for that technical foul will be part of the fourth period because they could affect whether or not we go to overtime. So it's a sort of a unique scenario, and obviously one that we have to be 100% correct on because a mistake at this point of the game is not acceptable. Okay, so if team A is ahead by a point and that player is assessed a technical foul, we're going to shoot those free throws. Team B will shoot those free throws, and the result of those free throws will determine what happens next. If team B is ahead by a point, we will assess that technical foul, and the game is over, since team B will not attempt those because it will not affect the outcome of the game. And D is incorrect. Our correct answer is the score is tied. That technical foul is considered to be part of the overtime. All right, wait a minute. Here we are. And now we're here for our final question. Team control does not exist in which of the following? Understanding control is really critical. During an interrupted dribble, is there team control? While the ball is in flight during a try, is there team control? C, when a live ball is being passed among teammates, is there team control? Or D, all of the above? Understanding team control, when it starts, when it ends, critical. And we know that by rule, team control ends when a try is released. So while the ball is in flight during a try, there is no team control. That is the correct answer. The correct answer is B, and I'm standing by it. And there we have it. We've made it through 72 rules questions in 2 hours and probably 2 hours directly related to the questions. I'm completely exhausted. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Reread 70. No, I will not reread anything. Ooh. I don't understand that, Mike. Mike Connor says touching the ball outside the cylinder during a free throw is, I don't believe that's a true statement. And of course, Mike Connor's rules expert, you can count on that. I don't believe that that's a true statement. I am always prepared to be. All right, Reg, come back tomorrow, another 2 hours if my voice holds out. Ay. Let's see. Oh, all right. Excellent. Fred, another new official? Oh, excellent. Excellent. Love to hear it. Thanks, Fred. Yeah, Ray's referring to in California our change to utilizing the clock, like in college, for the 10-second count in the backcourt. And of course, in California, there's so many questions, and we didn't get it, Ray. We didn't get it answered at the association meeting, which is I found really strange. Ooh, Facebook. So Facebook doesn't come through. Andrew Clark asks, can you give a technical foul during halftime in an intramural game for a player using vulgar language? Well, it depends on your rule set, and unless something excludes the assessment of a foul, um, it depends on the rules, right? So at my collegiate level, my junior college level, vulgar language, profanity is flagrant foul and ejection. Players are ejected in college. Um, but are the officials on the court? Are they? Is their jurisdiction apply? When you're in an intramural game, maybe you're sitting at the table, right? In high school, we're going to leave the visual confines. Players could swear all they want. Officials in the locker room could swear all they want. When we come back, then we have jurisdiction over the game, and behavior of the game participants is under our jurisdiction. So that's all I'd say about that. Okay, I got you. I got you. So the thrower releases the throw, and it's on its upward fight toward the basket, and it's deflected by an opponent of the thrower. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's goaltending. Ted, we did make it. We did. And I'm not going to keep you guys. I am going to wrap it up. I'm going to go drink tea with lemon to protect my delicate voice for sessions the next 2 days. Right. So one of my challenges is: are we just going to like plow through the questions? Just hey, here's the question, here's the answer. Right. That's not my inclination. That's not where value is going to be found. So it's a decision, the balance between editorial comment, instruction, clarification, and just getting through stuff. But we've made it. 5 Play Friday on Friday with Sadiq Pettijohn. I'll put a link. No, I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. It's. I've already posted the coming attraction on YouTube. So looking forward to that. Appreciate you, Mike. I never doubted you for a moment about the rule. I was misunderstanding. Like, okay, after it's contacted the ring and it's on its up. You got me again. Hard to get one past Mike Connors. Hard to get. All right, with that, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to say goodbye. I appreciate everybody joining, and we'll see you in the next one. That'll be tomorrow, bright and early. Take care.